6 rounds for Walcott. The winner by majority vote and still the heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis.
Well, I want to say I'm very happy to be back in England again, to see a lot of my old friends that I met during the war. I'll be here until April the 7th when I go back to New York, then start training for my fight.
1948, and Joe Louis prepares to fight Jersey Joe Walcott. It's a return match, the previous fight ending controversially with the Louis victory.
Well, I'm not much of making speeches. I'm not very good at talking. There seems to be a lot of talk coming from Lewis's camp, but if you remember back in December, I just remember this. Action speaks louder than words.
Here, in slow motion, you see the third straight knockdown that Joe Walcott has scored over Joe Louis in their 2 fights. All 3 were right-hand punches. slow motion, here is the champion in all his fighting fury. He goes after the challenger, and Walcott suddenly no longer can dance away. No longer can do his frustrating two-step while waiting to throw his dangerous right. Watch Joe Louis, the devastating Joe Louis of old. Raining punches, savage, destructive. The Louis that will never be forgotten. Watch a great champion's last great knockout for the record and for boxing history. In his dressing room, Louis, with trainer Manny Seaman, makes his first statement after leaving the ring, exclusively for these official fight films.
The bicycle stopped in the 11th round, didn't it?
Well, man, I caught up with him in the 11th round, thanks to you. And you told me just when to go out and get him.
Well, I know you're a great fighter, Joe, and I know that the fight was close because there wasn't much of a fight, and I know that you like to give the public a great performance every time you perform. That's why I chased you out as I did, and I knew you'd do as you were told to do.
Thank you very much, man. I enjoyed the fight. I think the fight was much better than it was the last time.
Joe, when you knocked him down, did you think he'd get up?
No, man, I thought when I had him, I know that when he went down, he couldn't get up. I hit him with 4 or 5 very good punches.
I thought you hit him with my left hook, Joe.
Well, man, I hit him with my right, too. Well, I'd like to say again that I retired. Tonight was my last fight. And thank you very much.
Knockdown or a knockout in this fight, because if it goes into a bookkeeping totaling of points, it's not going to please a lot of people either way. I think it would be more dramatic if the new champion were crowned by a knockout. From about round 10 on, they both began to miss by wide margins. That means they're getting tired and their reflexes are slowing. Walcott desperately holds Charles's arms by the elbows in the clinches because Charles has been whacking away at his short ribs. No damage done, there was almost a knockdown. Charles was charging forward, and you could see his body vibrate when that right hand smacked him. Walcott doesn't counter as fast as he used to. He just seems to step aside from Charles's charges and let it go at that. That's no way to score points. All those heavyweights' motions mean very little because Charles pays no attention to them. You can see the fat rippling up under the back of the neck of Walcott there. At that, it must be something for a man his age, the father of 6 children. I wonder if they're sitting around a television set somewhere watching Daddy fight for the heavyweight championship. Win or lose, it's quite an accomplishment. "19 years in the prize ring, father of 6. Had Joe Louis on the canvas 3 times. He's near the end of the trail, though, physically. He won't be near the end, though, if he connects with one of those looping rights. Charles will go out over third base in 2 bounces. That's the end of round 14. Well, Bob, let's let the crowd say something for a minute.
Well, they're saying the same thing they've been saying most of the evening. Boo! I don't know why they're booing. The boys are in there doing the best. Well, you know, it's really a sad thing when you figure that Jersey Joe Walcott, this is the 3rd crack he's had. In other words, he's had 3 dreams. Well, this is his 3rd. He's had 2, and the bubble was burst. One of them was a point of contention, but it's still in the record books that Joe Louis won that first bout. No matter what anyone can say, it'll never come out of the books. You can argue about it from here till kingdom come. The second one, he was knocked out. And the 3rd, he was chosen to win there against Ezra Charles. The only man that's within my memory, and I tried to look up a few records, that has had 3 chances for the heavyweight title. And he has 3 more minutes to visualize whether he had this dream or whether, as far as professional boxing is concerned, he hangs up his gloves. He probably will if he is not successful in this, although we have no way of telling for sure. Last round, 15th and final. They're really going to pour it on this round, and I'll bet. Jersey Joe on the right. Ezra Charles on the left. Jersey Joe's been saving it. This is the time. Charles has paced himself beautifully all the distance. But superb condition. You can tell that Walcott is very serious. No clowning tonight, with the exception of 1 or 2 little flurries. That was more to get him out of trouble. Charles is pressing in. He wants to win that belt. He wants to win it by a KO if he can. Same as Walcott. Knockdowns in this bout, and there's 1 slight cut. That happens to be on Walcott's left eye. Charles was wrestled through the canvas earlier. No knockdown. This round is half over. A lot could happen in a minute and 30 seconds. First heavyweight bout that we have covered in quite a few years, that there isn't a certain amount of electricity in the air. One minute to go. Now the crowd that were booing Walcott are beginning to cheer him on. He's really giving all he has now. 45 seconds to go. Charles beginning to belt Walcott around a little bit. In 30 seconds, we'll be all set to announce the new champion. Or they'll be all set to figure out who is the new champion.
New heavyweight champion of the world, excluding England and New York. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds to go. And there's the bell, ending the bout. Mingled cheers and boos greet the final efforts of the two battlers. Ezard Charles, right there. His opponent, Jersey Joe Walcott. Charles outweighed, but he had youth in his favor. And as he kept pointing out, a man can stay on his toes through 15 rounds against a man that's 14 pounds heavier. He must be in superb condition, because he was hit, and he was hurt, but not terribly bad. And as a matter of fact, Walcott was hit plenty, and I doubt if he was hurt, but we can't tell much until we actually talk to them. That is just more of an observation from where we sit, having seen both of them throw and take. So we'll have the announcement of the rounds. The photographer is beginning to climb all through the ring, and we hope to have the new heavyweight champion on television for you. My good friend Don Dunphy down at ringside will try to crawl through. Oh, Don is through. There he is down there. We'll give him the signal just a little while so he can color the new heavyweight champion of the world. Waiting now for the judges to make their tally card. 15 rounds from Comiskey Park in Chicago, Illinois. Well, they're putting all the lights on now in the park, and here comes the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, he scored Judge Frank McAdams, Ezard Charles, 78. Jersey Joe Walcott, 72.
The point system in Illinois.
Judge Harold Moravitz, Ezard Charles, 78. Joe Walcott, 72. And the referee, Davey Miller, the same score, unanimous, and the new heavyweight champion of the world, Ezard Charles.
There's the new heavyweight champion of the world, Ezard Charles of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Walcott in the white trunks, Charles in the black. Champion, Ezard Charles, a 5-1 favorite tonight. Most of the fight experts predict he'll beat Walcott, and so do most of the 28,000 fight fans here at Forbes Field. They figure that Walcott's age is against him. He's 37, and that's pretty old for an active fighter. Most of them hang up their gloves long before they reach 37. Well, Ezard Charles is 30, and that isn't so young either, but he's 7 years younger than Walcott. This is Walcott's 5th shot at the heavyweight title. He's lost to Charles twice before, and he's also lost to Joe Louis twice. As a matter of fact, Walcott has had more chances at the heavyweight title than any other challenger in all fight history. Both men fighting very cautiously. Each has a lot of respect for the other's counterpunching. Ezard Charles has held the world heavyweight title since June 1949, when he defeated Walcott in an elimination contest to fill the vacancy caused by the retirement of Joe Louis. Since then, Charles has put his title on the line 8 times, and he's won them all. Tonight's fight makes the 9th. The end of round 1. Second and third rounds, or rather the second round, both men continue their cautious sparring and boxing, with neither doing any damage. Now, round 3 of this 15-round heavyweight title bout between Ezard Charles, the champion, and Jersey Joe Walcott. That's Walcott in the white trunks, Charles in the black. If Charles wins tonight, he's promised to meet Joe Louis again. Joe's trying for another comeback. Charles fought Louis the year before, and he beat the Brown Bomber on a decision in 15 rounds. Walcott is 12 pounds heavier than Charles tonight. Jersey Joe weighs 194, Charles 182. Walcott packs most of his extra poundage in his huge arms and shoulders. A lot of power there. Over 28,000 fans here at Forbes Field tonight. Biggest fight crowd Pittsburgh has seen in 10 years. One reason for the big turnout is that the champion, Ezard Charles, is a local boy. Also, this is the first heavyweight title bout ever to take place in Pittsburgh. There was the hardest punch of the fight so far. Made Charles's knees buckle. Walcott landed that right to the body, smack on the heart. The end of round 3. Walcott has a slight advantage as they trade lefts and rights to the body. Now, here we go into round 6. Walcott is definitely ahead on points so far, but the Charles fans aren't worried. They figure Ezard is just pacing himself, waiting for Walcott to wear himself out, then go after him just like their last fight. In that one, Charles knocked Walcott down for a count of 9 in the 9th round, and he won an easy decision. If Walcott should win tonight, he'll be the oldest man to win the World's Championship in the history of the heavyweight division. Up to now, the oldest on record is Bob Fitzsimmons. And Ruby Bob was 35 when he won the title from Jim Corbett in 1897. Walcott's jabbing and left hooks have done a lot of damage to the champion. Ezzard's mouth is cut. He has a bad bruise under his right eye. Joe Walcott is still very confident that he'll win the championship someday despite his 4 unsuccessful attempts. He came very close to winning the title back in 1947 when he met Joe Louis. After going 15 rounds against the Bomber, Walcott lost on a split decision. The referee favoring him, but the 2 judges voted for Louis. Many fans who saw that fight still feel that Walcott really beat Louis. The end of round 6. Now here we go into round 7 of this 15-round heavyweight title bout between Ezzard Charles, the champion, and Jersey Joe Walcott here at Forbes Field, Pittsburgh. Ezzard Charles in the black trunks. In his entire 11 years as a professional fighter, Charles has been knocked out only once, back in 1943. Out of 72 fights, he's won 66, 45 by knockouts. Hasn't lost a fight in 3 years. Oh, a terrific left hook to the jaw, and Charles is down. The champion is down flat on his face. That was a perfectly timed punch. Walcott just walked across the ring and planted that left hook square on Charles's jaw. Ezzard was just about to throw a right. Charles is really out. He can't possibly get up. It's the end of the fight, and Jersey Joe Walcott wins the World Heavyweight Championship, one of the greatest upsets in ring history.